Welcome again to the Motley Croc Show. It's 8/14/2025. We are catching up again from last week. We are always, seems like we're always here. I don't know. It seems like I wake up and I'm like, wow, we got to do the show again. I don't know. But anyways, let's get started kind of early tonight. We're on bar. We got Brittany behind the scenes here. Let's bring her in. Let's add her to get you up here, Brittany. What's up?
Hello.
What's going on, B? What's up, Sage?
Hey, Sage. How is it going? I like the hat, by the way.
Color Croc?
When
Yeah, every now
you're
and then I
dipped
break out
down
some
like
deep.
that, I was like, ooh, I
Every now and
like
then I like to
it.
break out
I
some
haven't
stuff like
seen
that.
that in a while.
Yeah. How
That's
are you
good.
doing?
I like that. Doing okay. Strange, but doing okay.
Strange. Fill me in. What do you mean?
Because, like, both kids are in school now,
All
not
right.
just the one.
Right.
And, like, day one was really hard. It felt eerily weird around the hey Sage felt really weird around the house, like, because Bimini's always been like my gal pal, so we would take Finn to school and then come home and then we'd hang out and we would do things, and like coming home empty felt weird. Like the house was so quiet, and then John flew out, so like it was just me. It was really weird. And then Mako was going to each bedroom, like looking for the kids and looking for Bimini. Like she had no idea where she was. Like I'm like, she's not here. Like I filmed her. She was like going into the bedroom and looking at me. I'm like, she's not here. She's at school. It was like, then she ran to the bedroom, her bedroom, and was like looking at me. I'm like, she's not here. So it was just a really weird day. Then by day two, she would like Bims was like ready to go. She was like, I can't be late for school. I have to make sure I'm there on time. So I was like, okay. And then by Wednesday, I was like, okay, I'm liking this. I'm getting things done. I'm cleaning without being like
Yeah,
disrupted
mom time. I figured it would take a little
multiple
time, but you'd
times.
like it. You'd probably get used to it and start to like it.
Oh my God. Like I
Because they're going
have,
to come home at the end of the day and then all that peace and quiet is gone.
but you know what's funny is they're so exhausted from school, both of them, that when they come home, they just want to couch potato it. So it's quiet
That's
still.
good
Like
for
it's
you too. You still get to catch up and you get to do all your media stuff.
I now have the media without being like, is everybody be quiet so I can make, and then I just give up. I'm like, I don't even want to make a reel because I can't do it with
Well, you've been
everybody.
doing a lot of them, so that's been helpful.
Yeah. I want to at least do like 3 a day. And I've been able to keep up with that
Oh
because they're
God, that's
not
a
here.
lot. That's too much. I don't have time.
Well, like the other day I busted, like I filmed like 5 in one day and saved them in my drafts, and I didn't have to make any content on Wednesday. I just
Which is good.
yeah.
Who's here?
But
Let me
yeah,
see.
I'm
Let's see.
like I'm actually getting stuff done around the house. No. Tammy's not gonna come on. No, not right now. Not yet. Everybody loves Tammy. Tammy ain't coming on the show yet. Well, she
Tammy
did once.
Thompson.
Tammy did come on the show once. You want to know a funny story, Troy? There's
Sure.
a fan follower of Ants whose name is Tammy. And we've created another character named Jolene for Tammy's bestie. And so I've been like, hey, you're gonna get to meet Jolene. Let me tell you. Wait till you meet Jolene.
Are you creating more alter egos? People don't realize that you're
Played
schizophrenic. You
played
should
by
be honest
Ant.
and tell everybody that you're
It's
schizophrenic.
played by Ant, not me.
Oh God.
Not by me. It's hilarious. But anyway, so she messages and she's like, you've got to be kidding. Your bestie is named Jolene. So then she tagged her bestie, whose name is really Jolene, and they're both Ant fans. Hilarious. I was like, could this be any better? So I told her that when I made videos, I would tag her when we make them with Jolene. So it's a good time. But I thought that was the best. I was like, now I know this is good because it's reached people in a way.
What's up, Craig?
I was like, oh man. Hey, Craig. So
Well, good.
it's good. Yeah.
It sounds like you guys got a lot cut out. Yeah, I usually just during this time of the year, it's usually just really hot and stuff. Let me drop one of the components down here. I got to pick that up. We need that for that show. Um, this time of year, I'm just usually playing catch up, chasing animals around all day and repairing fences and filling in holes and trying to keep everybody
Oh
going
yeah.
and alive. Hey, what's up, Judy? How are you?
Yep. I know. I feel like I want the heat to stop because I feel like
All
the
right.
sun moved a lot closer to us.
Hello, Brent.
Hey, haven't seen you in a while. Um,
But yeah, do you think the sun is closer to us?
It's too hot. It's ridiculous. I feel like
I
the
mean,
sun has moved
I don't know if
closer
it's
to the
just that
earth.
we're getting old, I think.
That could be.
I mean, that's a possibility.
I walk outside and everything is on fire and it's hot and I'm sweating and no.
Hey, what's up, exploring? Long time. Good to see you.
Hey. Yeah, it's just too much. I'm ready for it doesn't have to be 105 every day to feel like
I know.
105. You know what I mean? Like I'm fine with it in the 80s. It feels great when it's in the 80s, but when we start
Everything's great in the 80s.
That's true. That is true. And
Same.
you've got your 80s podcast coming. Ant was talking about that. It's got clothes picked out.
Does he?
He does. He actually went and bought like a ton of 80s clothes and he's got this really cool vest denim jacket that he got. It's good stuff.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Good,
I
good
can't wait to
stuff.
see it. Sounds
Yeah.
like it's going to be fun.
He's like, anytime I see a vintage 80s, I just buy it because I want to have it like a different shirt, obviously for every episode, you know? So it's like true 80s shirts. Yeah, he's
Interesting.
excited. They're good. They're like
Yeah,
true vintage. They're like true vintage. Like
yeah,
the
I
old
think it'll be
E.T. and the old Jaws and like Goonies. Like, do you know what I mean? Like the true old 80s. Yeah.
right. Right.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, I
And
think
I
there's
saw
gonna be a
the
lot to it.
studio.
I'm trying to look and see what I got here.
Yeah, I got to see the studio. The walls were all black so that it could be interchanged. The lights can change. She can do things. Like it was really cool. It's going to be a good time. And then if people are lucky, they can come down because there will be a mirror, like a window. Yeah, like a window that they can
Oh
see
yeah,
in.
we talked about that. We talked
Yeah.
about it.
So they cut the hole in the wall when I was there so you could see it. Yeah. It was pretty good. It's going to be a good time.
Trying to see if I have. Let's see here.
Well, we're glad you're here
One of the
exploring.
cool lineups. Yes, I'm glad to see you too, bud. That's cool.
Which one is with us?
Yeah,
that's what I always have to ask. Which one of you are with us tonight? Could be anyone. My light went out. My light broke. You know, I had the secondary one right here that would shoot up the purple behind my head. It broke.
It
Sucks.
did?
Yeah, I have to buy. Oh, hey, Luke. I have to buy a new one. I went to turn it on tonight and I was like, man. But I got this. You ready? Oh, I hope I don't break it. Bigfoot playing a guitar.
That's pretty awesome, actually. Kind of like
Hobby Lobby, baby.
Yeah, I've been working a lot of different. Let's see if I can find this thing. I'll put it up for you. Check it out. A lot of people haven't seen this yet, but it'd be kind of fun. Look at that background.
Oh my God, I love it.
Isn't that cool?
I just see Ant's eyebrows.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. That's for like our little background and shit. It's gonna be pretty fun.
That's awesome.
Gotta have that as that.
But a couple of things you've sent me so far have been like totally stellar, like really good, like just good stuff. It's cool.
Yeah, I've been putting together a bunch of stuff like that. Just trying to get it like all together, you know, and I'm looking at it now. I'm just doing some fine touches, you know, doing stuff like you know, cartoons and really trying to work it out and then find the right layout and stuff like this here.
I love it. Oh my God, that's great.
Yeah. So it's just a bunch of working on different things like that. What I'm doing is I've been working on an actual comic. So the comic is going to be like 8 pages, you know, be 6-page story, but 8, you know, front and back cover issues and just different clips like that. And just kind of do a couple different, you know, but it's going to be in that style, you know, so you have that real, you know, authentic, if you will, 80s style. To get back up here in the comments and make sure I don't miss anybody else.
Oh my God. I agree, G. That's my favorite too so far. Because it actually, like the one you sent me early on when you were still sketching and critiquing it, like making it more like that looks more like you guys. And it actually got
you know, when you're drawing that, you know, you gotta figure it out. I was trying to find one of the original photo. I was looking for it here in the style, the original photo, but I don't.
I have it. The picture you like the original photograph.
Yeah, but in order for me to add that file, I have to put it up here. It has to be in this file, and I'm looking for it in this file here. So it just takes a minute.
I was gonna say if I just texted it to you.
There's a couple different, yeah, but it's got to be in my photo file for this. That's where it really comes in.
Oh.
We did it on our social media.
Oh, and
I
it's
was
so
found,
great.
I found one of
It's
the
so great.
original shirts too from our Poison. I was talking to Ricky. I sent it over to Ricky this week, and he's like, "Holy shit!" I'm like, "I know, dude. That's when
That's
Cinderella,
great.
Faster Pussycat, Winger was touring. I still have the
Oh
shirt.
my God.
It's pretty
That's
rad.
awesome.
Definitely pretty cool for sure."
I saw he just did
Um,
that, posted to a story signing with Ghost. They're doing that partner collab, Ricky and what was it, Ghost something.
yeah,
I reshared it because I wanted
yeah.
people to
I
see
saw it
it.
on. I saw it on the his stories this morning.
Yes. Yeah. I saw it
Yeah,
about midday.
it
I was
looked
like,
pretty
oh,
dope.
that's
It's pretty dope.
cool. Yeah.
It was definitely pretty dope. I think
Because
this is it here.
Poison is touring next year, or that's it. Ghost Circus. They're touring next year or this year. Poison. It's next year, right?
26.
Yeah. So next year.
Yes. He said they were. I saw some stuff. I asked him, I said, people are talking about, whatever. I think this is the original. There's the original
That's
picture
it.
right
There's
there.
the original.
Yeah.
Yep.
I see original picture of it. That's how it's going to be. So there's going to be different characters to that.
It's gonna be
It's not going
so
to be
good.
obviously be us. It'll be different characters, but it's going to be pretty fun. We're going to have a pretty good time laying that out. Actually, it should be a pretty good time, I
It's
think.
gonna be so
When we get
good.
time, it's going to be done live in the studio there in Cape Coral, and it'll be really fun. So it's going to be pretty awesome.
It's gonna be
It
so
just takes
good.
time. Takes time to get rocking and rolling.
Well, and the studio's being built, so that's cool too. You guys will actually have an in studio you'll be filming it in. Like, I think that's something the audience will be
Ghost
really
Circus.
excited to
That's right.
see. Yeah.
Yeah, Ghost Circus. That's really cool. Yeah, it's gonna
Having
be fun.
a studio to film in is so nice, like,
I
especially
got my own.
nowadays.
Yeah, I like mine here.
That's what I mean. I'm saying, like, when you have your own place that you film in, it becomes a comfortable spot. Like, it's so nice.
It does. It does. But
I
I want to
love
get
it.
on some stuff. There's some stuff I want to talk about, because I know we got people popping in, and so I definitely want to get.
Yeah,
Uh,
exploring. Definitely watch. It's gonna be great.
oh
It's
yeah, man! When
gonna
we
be
release
great.
it, it's a few months out, obviously, because it's the type of production it's going to take, because we're working on different celebrities to talk to and bring in, and it's kind of going to be twisted from that era. So we'll be like we'll be broadcasting back from, we'll be stuck in like '87, broadcasting forward. So we'll be talking to the same celebrities that were popular then in 2025, so we can kind of see where they ended up. It's a lot. There's a lot of writing to it, so it's going to be. There's a lot to this. It costs a lot of money too. So anytime you want to do a good
Mhm.
production, man, it's going to wipe you the fuck out. So, with that being said,
Yeah.
definitely when this releases, I'll start running release ads for it, talk about it on here and stuff like that, and really get that going as well. I told wearing a Motley Croc t-shirt. Um, I didn't think about it. I did get one though. Brittany sent me a Motley Croc t-shirt, but I think the
That
back
you
of this one's why I
designed.
wore it. There's aliens on it. See?
Oh, yeah. Oh, is that the
I
Born Scum one?
figure, yeah, I figured since we're
Yeah.
gonna have aliens, we're talking about aliens, so we got a little spaceship right here.
Aliens.
Listen, I've been seeing, and I'm beginning to wonder if it's just like reflections of satellites from the sun.
Mm-hmm.
I've been watching satellites all my life. I lay on the roof. It's a great pastime, kind of relax a little bit in the breeze and watch satellites. However, lately, some of these lights have been acting really odd lately. And like last night, we had these lights that were big, like they were big. And instead of like moving across, they would just appear and drop straight down for a while, like
Mm-hmm.
solid white drop straight down. And then some, like one would drop and then two would move this way every night, every night. So, and it's always in one part of the sky. So I'm trying to figure out if there's anything up there. And then, you turn on the news and it's like, oh, so and so saying this, and are these sentient beings? And, again, either they're hiding something or it's another big grand hoax again, where they want to scare the fuck out of everybody again to do some other mass control stuff. And I don't know if they're testing something in the sky. A lot of the professionals are talking about, yeah, yeah, I've been seeing a lot of
Mm-hmm.
them in the sky. So it's interesting because I go out at night, I'll see them, and I'm not drinking, I'm not smoking anything. Walk the dog, I'm getting ready for bed. It's normal. And all of a sudden they just start popping in the sky. And sometimes they'll travel in twos. Sometimes they'll start at the bottom and shoot up. Sometimes they'll go this way. I don't know what the fuck's going on. So I know there's a lot of space trash out there. I know there's a lot of like debris and there's a lot of satellites. I know that, Starlink's a thing, but
Mm-hmm.
I've seen Starlink. I know how
Well,
Starlink moves when it comes across like a huge line of satellites when he launches. And
but
then they go
that's
by in the
just the
grid
train.
sometimes and you
But
see them
that's
and you
just
kind
the
of know
train.
them.
Yeah.
These are a little bit different. So November is when
Craig,
they arrive.
stop it, Craig.
That's
If
what they
I
keep
see
saying.
this one more time, no, that's not true.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. But I was listening last night. There was a one that C-SPAN will
Craig.
rerun their stuff on YouTube. So I just kind of watched the hearings and stuff when they talk about it. One of the guys said that
Mhm.
way over 90% of it is testing of
Yes.
um, you know drones and different type of technology. But one of the things that got
Mhm.
to me that I found really interesting, and I don't know if you've been paying attention, but he was talking about the F-16. I want to say that if I misquoted, I'm sorry. The
That was Graves.
F-16
Mhm.
pulls 9 Gs, can
Mhm.
pull 9 Gs. The body can't take more than 9 Gs before you hit blackout, red out, and death.
Mhm.
Some of these things that are flying by are pulling up to 20 to 60 Gs.
Mhm.
He was saying 60 Gs. So
And
that's
on
definitely
record.
not a manned
Was on
unless
record.
it's another. And they said unless it's another organic entity that moves between matter. You start getting into this stuff that we talked about when you're kids or all the sci-fi movies and people talk about this different type of shit where,
Mhm.
oh, this and that. Now it's becoming a reality. And I'm not
Mhm.
interested. I'm telling you right now, I'm not interested. I'm not interested. I like life being somewhat simple. I like arguing with family, having a shitty day at work. The last thing we need is and you got to remember that there's an entire planet here that everybody has a God they believe in. Everybody. And in every religion that you talk to, very rarely do you see stuff about space and Martians and all this kind of stuff. They think, oh, there's this one God. We're all created here and we all love each other. Hallelujah, halala, shamata, whatever the fuck they do. That's going to blow a fucking hole in everything. And that's going to cause mass hysteria. Case in point, War of the Worlds, right? When that
Different
whole
times.
radio program came out, motherfuckers be killing themselves and stuff and their families. I mean, now the mass hysteria is more believable because they can make stuff like that look like that in the sky. And I think that it's just not good. I think it's for world chaos. They put so much of this chaos in front of us with everything that's been going on the past 5 years of our lives lately. Have
Mhm.
been Time seems to be moving faster. The sun is a lot hotter. So, they're talking about controlling the weather. They talk about that. Nobody pays attention, and they do it like when there's some big event going on. They'll drop like this data that they did this where no one's paying attention. They're like, "Oh, it's a Super Bowl. Well, we'll just drop it on another channel during the Super Bowl because they know 90% of the people won't see it." And they go, "Oh, we told you.
Mhm.
We said that."
Yep.
We know what cloud seeding is. I mean, there was videos back in the early 90s of Prince, as a matter of fact, talking about them spraying stuff in the skies that
Mhm.
he was aware of, which I really think that's why he's dead. I just want to put that out there. And I think that there's a lot of, I'm sure, man, there's a lot weird stuff like that all the time coming out there.
Mhm.
Yep, there's always interesting things going on. So I'm with you guys. So, you always hear this Project Blue Book, Blue Beam, whatever, and they talk about people spraying stuff in the skies or whatever, and then they have holograms or whatever like that. But I don't I don't know. I don't know. I, I
I
prefer it to be a big old hoax. They want to scare everybody back in. Now there's an alien virus, and I don't know who the fuck. Give us a
I
break. Can we just go back to normal life again? We've been through so many crazy things. It's time let's just get back to normal. We wore a mask around there. We all wore masks and stuff, and people were burning down towns, and people didn't even know what sex they were, and people didn't know if they were animals or humans, and there was mass suicides, there were people killing themselves.
which is still very high.
We just need to stop, man. Like we got to
Yeah.
get back together again. I don't care about what somebody believes in or what their political stance is, but we got to grab the world by the balls and get it back together. This is like it's got to stop. There's just a lot of idiocracy.
Well,
I
and
mean, we're talking about aliens in the regular news, Brittany. That's it. Like this is fucking.
but people don't understand that this isn't anything new. Like aliens and UFOs and flying saucers and different things like that, if you go back to 58 to
So right, Marissa.
72,
So right.
it was heavily published in newspapers. It was heavily documented on the local news. The difference between then and now is that we have social media in our phones, but it was
Sure.
very much still talked about because the alien hysteria and the UFO craze and everything really took a massive hit into our social media structure for the time period after 47. So I obviously, when we were filming Lost Monster Files, I wasn't able to be as dedicated to the field with my investigative partner in the UFO field as much as I was. I'm back in it now, and we have a lot of reports. And as you know, we helped gather up the correct information that was provided at some of the hearings that did take place. Some of these things have to come to light because we don't know where the tech is coming from, and we need to stay advanced. And a lot of that information is on a need to know basis at the level. And so parts of Congress feel that they, in some areas, need to know. So when you hear a lot of the statements and stuff, and they did finally have a skiff meeting, which is very important so we can see exactly what's going on. Here's the biggest problem that I feel is the biggest issue. There is no transparency and communication. Honestly, the hearings are the first step in transparency, but even then, stuff cannot be said publicly in a live hearing. So it has to be said in a skiff. So we don't ever get that information unless somebody wants to say or give us some type of information publicly. But when it's in a skiff, it's private. No one can know about it because it's also dealing with national security issues. The biggest problem is that something will happen, and then they turn to the government officials that are supposed to be handling this, like Arrow, and
Okay.
unfortunately, we're not going to get the information we want from them. And I'm very glad that Kirkpatrick is no longer in charge of Arrow. Sorry, I don't care who liked him or who didn't. I'm very thankful he's gone. We need to start having open transparency. Enigma, for anyone who has or
That's a great
continues
band.
to see to see anything in the sky, Enigma is a great data place to put in your sighting and see other areas near you that also are collecting the same type of sightings and activity and the way that the objects maneuver. We get a lot of things from pilots, from commercial pilots that are seeing
I
stuff.
want to touch on that too.
Some of the biggest things that we see are something that to date our experts that work with us that are active military and non-active military, within Ben and I with our UAP reporting, are the sphere of balls that no one can understand. And I have personally seen incredible footage and pictures that I can't wrap my brain around. I don't understand. They use the clouds to hide and maneuver around. They are in areas that are high activity with propulsion, with jets, with airplanes, with commercial pilots, military bases. They are being heavily monitored. They started being seen a lot overseas. They're being seen a lot here in the United States, and most commonly on the coastlines coming from the oceans. So we're getting them from the East Coast to the West Coast.
Which is an interesting. There, I'll bring in Marissa. I think that with that being said, what's up, Marissa? I think with that being
Are you
said, though,
done
listen,
eating?
let me touch on
I
that also.
am. It's like
What I'm thinking
I'm
is
like making sure I don't have nachos on my face. Okay, sorry.
they also they a lot of there's I read a lot about it, and it's not just necessarily airlines. Those could also be your creators, you know. And so a lot of people don't like that. They don't like that, but our creators could be watching us now. Right.
Well,
So
that's a
we
theory.
don't
It's been
know the
around a while.
story. I know the story of God and all the fucking billions of years of hoopla and everybody's imagination about what they think it is. I'm sorry, folks, if you're religious. I don't mean to offend you. There's just so many stories. There's indigenous, there's white people's versions, there's black versions, there's Chinese versions, everybody's got a version of a creator, but we really don't know. None of us really know. And so you have that option too. Our creators are now coming back down to the planet that they put together, just like we do when we put together some sort of a enclosure for something that we brought together, or now that we're bringing back mammoths or whatever, we're kind of playing the god that they played to begin with, if you want to think about it that way. Or you have the option of it being time travel.
Yep.
And
That's
we
the
could just be
theory I
coming
like.
back. We could just be coming back from the future, because I know a lot of people don't realize this, but there's a lot of theories of Hitler time traveling. Hitler's
Well,
bell.
time is
Y'all
not
read about
linear.
that, folks.
So,
So,
I'm a very big believer in
and
time travel.
again, when I say stuff, people get all fired up at me. I'm not saying what Hitler was listed as was a good person, and he did some horrendous things according to what the literature said he did. However, prior to that, he was in the Antarctica looking for the pyramids. How the fuck did he know that? How did he know before anybody else in the world know that there was pyramids there, and he documented that? And then the United States kicked him the fuck out of there. Now
Hey,
you can't
Noah.
even fly over it. You're not even allowed to go near it or around it or whatever.
Mm-mm.
And then the people who have snuck over say that there's an entire other world on the other side of that wall with different living things. And other people go, oh, that's bullshit. That's bull. I don't know what's bullshit and what's not. You know, people talk about flat Earth, but flat Earth doesn't mean that the Earth is a big board. It could be under a dome, but it's just going to be level after level after level after level. Right? So even
I
in
was-
ancient talks, the world's a sphere. And that's interesting to me too. Why would they call it that in ancient literature? Go ahead, Marissa.
No, I was gonna say, like, you were talking about Hitler and how did he know about all these different things? I think one thing, if I remember reading about Hitler, was he was very interested in the ancient cultures. And when you look at ancient cultures, obviously they illustrate these other beings. But I remember reading something about, look at some of these older civilizations in Mesopotamia. There's some other older sites in Spain, Turkey, even in South America, where you have structures, like you have structure, you know, like if someone was starting to build a house or a large building, but it's destroyed. And there were some theories going back to that, like, how do we not know that thousands and thousands of years ago, civilization was just as advanced as us?
We don't. That's correct.
Screwed up somewhere, and these beings came down and destroyed civilization to in a sense kind of start over. And it's very interesting because, like, if you look at some war-torn areas, especially like after World War II, I mean, things are just absolutely decimated. And you look at these archaeological sites, they look decimated. How do we not know that someone was like, things are screwed up here, we're gonna just scratch this out, let the humans start all over again?
Yeah,
They would have had
very
to completely
possible.
scratch it out, because we didn't see, there's no signs of technology other than, certain technology, but I mean, there's no signs of, like, electrical wires and so on and so
No,
forth
but
that
they were
found
talking
yet,
about
which was interesting, right? Which is
would-
interesting, but it means it
you-
would have just been, if you nuke it, you won't see it.
Exactly. If you nuke it, you're not going to see it.
Well,
And
and here,
Right. So out here, Brittany, before you get started, what she made a good point about, they came down and destroyed it. There's stories about the earth being flooded and all this kind of stuff. But I'm going to tell you right now, if people go to school up to 5th grade, you understand that there's only so much water on the planet. It never leaves the planet. It doesn't go anywhere. It either goes up, moves, comes down somewhere else, or it goes up and comes back down. Right. But Mount Everest, where all the bodies are and all that, has never been underwater 2,000 years ago, 2,500 years ago. So there's not enough water in the world to reach that level. So the entire planet has never been completely submerged. And there's some great literature on that too. Part of it, a large mass of it was and subsided, but it's never been completely. Just the land moves, pushes up. You get different layers. The water's always the same. So like when I do big presentations for little kids and we got the reptiles and stuff, and they'll be drinking a bottle of water, I'll go, you want to hear something pretty cool? That bottle of water was probably drank by a dinosaur, peed out back into the earth, got into the aquifer, traveled along, filtered, and went back up into the sky and rained on someone else, and another dinosaur drank it. And here you are a million years later drinking the same thing. So it's never gone anywhere. It never leaves. I want people to understand. They go, oh, what do you mean it evaporates? Doesn't leave. It just goes into the air, moves somewhere else, condenses, and drops again. So when they talk about all the world, so I think what she said, when people come down and destroyed it, I think a lot of areas were destroyed because I don't think the whole world was populated like it isn't now. This whole belief that we're overpopulated. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. We are not overpopulated. We're only overpopulated in condensed areas. But if you look at the world as a whole, there's not enough people to cover it. There's just not. Like it's such a small amount of people.
Yep.
And everybody wants to be on top of Metropolis because the humans are fucking dumb. Like, you go to a beautiful beach. I don't like people. I will go as far to the other side of the beach as I can to sit with my dog. Other motherfuckers grab their cooler and plop right down to the next fucker, to the next fucker, to the next fucker. And they all want to sit there. And I think that's human. They just want to congregate around each other and smell each other's farts. I'm not into that. I want to be somewhere else, dude. So everybody condenses and then they give you this myth. So I think the aliens probably, or our creators probably did exactly what Marissa said and blew the fuck up, everything up and started fresh. And the Egyptians got pretty close and then they pissed somebody off and they fucked them up too.
Similar
I mean,
with
really,
ancient
dude.
Maya.
Exactly.
Yeah. There's been a
But I
lot
don't
of
want them
that.
to come back yet, Brittany. So if you got some secrets you want to share with the class,
I can tell you that
I
there
don't
is
want to know who
no
my creator is. I really don't care. I just want to live and
extraterrestrials
die.
coming in 2025. So we can just clear that off the record right
I think
now.
they're already here. I mean,
I was going to say they're already here.
Sage
this
Puffle,
is
remember, they live.
something that I think people forget. So like when I first got into ufology, there's so much you have to understand about space and the planet first to understand the anomalies that take place that we can literally start eliminating. And then listening to NASA and how NASA breaks things down in our atmosphere and in our space. So when something odd starts moving strange in space than what we're used to, we have to monitor it. We have to watch it. We have to see what's going on. That's why they've been creating, like, everybody laughs, but truly like a real Armageddon team, right? And we already did this testing. We were able to bump a meteorite out of coming into Earth's trajectory. It worked. It was a big success 3 or 4 years ago. So we've all been planning in case something gets into too close to our Earth, we can move it out of the way. So the only reason we're hearing about this particular object is because the professor from Harvard, Avi has been around for so long, and he wants to prove the existence of extraterrestrial life visiting our planet. So the moment he sees something in space that's just a little bit different, immediately it's a space probe, it's an alien probe, we need to look into it. God love the guy. I think one time he wants to be right, and I'm backing him for that one. But even he himself has been misquoted in media and in social media and in articles. And he's saying we need more data. It's still too far away. I'm just monitoring it. I'm looking at how it's moving. And once it gets closer, we'll have a better idea. Because
they just don't like the lights in front of it. They don't like the lights
right,
in front of it.
Well, I will say that is the only strange thing about it, because meteorites do not burn that way. So it actually has what looks like fuel
or is it
burning
penetrating
at the
the
front
water?
of it.
Haven't you heard that theory?
But then all of our things would do that. This has a certain heat to it that it shouldn't have. So that's what's causing a little bit of influx.
Okay, so here's the devil's advocate. Anytime you shoot something through water like a bullet, it creates heat. Okay?
Well, yeah, our atmosphere
it's moving at such a velocity, right? So, but they'll shoot like high-powered bullets underwater and show you. And this pin hits, and you get this big round bubble like this behind it as it travels. And when you watch them launch rockets, that's the same fucking thing you see. Now, I just want you to answer this. I'm not saying I believe this or don't believe this. But they say a lot of the reasons when you look up and you see the flickering of the stars, it's because we're underwater. The dome over top of us is because we're underwater. That's what they say.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's real or fake. It's a theory, like everybody else's.
I mean,
but another part I found interesting about that.
So that would make sense to me.
But even in the Bible talks about there used to be a dome over it, the firmament. The firmament's in the Bible. I don't know if people realize that, but they talk about the dome being over the Bible. That's why Methuselah lived to 960 something years old. Nothing penetrated to hurt him. Right. I'm not saying that it's whatever, but I mean they knew that then, which was weird to me. I don't think that these rockets go and fall down. I totally don't believe that. I know that a lot of people do. Sidetracking, Elon Musk said that you don't need to worry about aliens. You need to worry about AI right now. That's what you need to worry about. He said the type of aliens that exist, we know there's life out there, but it's not the type that you think.
Absolutely.
It's not the type that you think. What we're seeing is not what you're talking about in movies. I mean, this guy's very direct and everybody hates him right now, which is interesting that they get the whole world to hate this guy. And he's the only one that goes back and forth to space and does what he wants up there. I mean, that's, and so does that other asshole that owns fucking Amazon. Think about that. Just hold on. So if we're really sending people up into space right now, everything that we're also seeing in the sky could be AI, for one. They have ways of projecting holograms and bringing rappers back from the dead that look real. We don't have the technology in our hands that they have. We think it's cool and we can do a little fucking funny thing, on our phone. Look at this. Oh, it's AI. Look, I made Brittany juggle.
They have
stuff that's 40 years ahead of us. So, I mean, You didn't think it was funny when you're watching Joe Biden walk out on fucking stage. Sometimes he's 6'6", sometimes he's 5'2", and they were fucking that up. And here's another question. I watch those videos that they clip from NASA before they're dropped, like where the space guys are showing something and like they just disappear, or their head disappears into a different level, or they're like, good, look, guys, we're floating, right? They're like floating, and all of a sudden it just drops. And they're like, oh, sometimes that happens, you know? It's like, what are they faking? Right? Or the rocket, that's when they're like, oh, T minus 10, 12. And the rocket's going like just fucking blasting through the sky. And you see a mouse run across the back of it and jump off. You want to explain that?
I've never seen those videos.
That was the mouse. That was the mouse in the he made it into like halfway up.
He did not make it halfway up. He would have died. You know the heat that goes off of those shields right there? Brittany, you couldn't even stand 200 feet away from that. You would melt.
I know. I'm just saying that's how it
and
looked.
He's running around on the jet. This thing's supposed to be propelling at 800 and something miles an hour. And this mouse just walks off and goes, oh, fuck. Shut the fuck up. Somebody's playing games, dude. Somebody's playing games. It's real simple. And that was legitimately, I will send you the video, Marissa. It was a legitimate following the space. And this fucking mouse, and people are like, there's a fucking mouse. They didn't edit it out.
I've never seen this video. I'm interested.
And here's a perfect example. It's easy to find. I'll send it to you. Here's another really cool example. I was catching
alligators at Cape Canaveral, and like there was one day that they were about to shoot off a rocket, and I remember I was with Frank Robb, and
hey, Rami, what's up, bro?
We had to go in to remove all the wildlife, make sure there weren't alligators.
Yeah, because they melt them.
They were just gonna fry.
Yeah,
they melt them.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen a launch in person. I have.
Yeah,
I've been over to Cape Canaveral. So is Flavio. We've stood in Cape Canaveral and watched them do it. The sky lights up like it's fucking daylight, like the sun's out. It's that fucking crazy for like 30 seconds. You're like looking at each other in pure daylight at midnight. So a mouse did not crawl across that thing. I'm sorry. They're putting some weird shit out there.
I gotta see this video.
You know. All right. Well, you got to change your name then, there, Jesus, because it says Rami still. It says Rami's Tacos. We got to change it back to. We got to change that over for me, brother. We'll start. Would you like me to call you Jesus, bro? Because I will. Sorry, Jesus. But there's so much of that going on, and I don't know, Brittany. I think with the AI technology that they're having now and stuff, and you know, I'm watching these droids like do these marathons and stuff that move like humans and shit like that.
When it comes to the robotics and the AI,
this could just be a spacesuit.
They've always been, I would say, I mean, we're going back into the 30s, right?
Well,
so I would
say
in the 1930s, they were probably already in advanced technologies that we considered in the 70s when we were in the 30s, in military grade, between the 60s and 70s, as far as their advancement. So then if you look in 2025, they're clocking it already in like the 40s, 2040s.
And I'm also still having a hard time.
That we just are not aware of or privy to, because it is.
I have a hard time with the moon stuff. Still have a hard time with that. And I heard them in the I heard them in the meeting the other day say, listen, we need to beat China to the moon. He said it.
Oh yeah. They still want to do it. Yeah, they still,
to the government, to the big platform, in that stupid hearing, he said we still need to beat China to the moon.
Listen, you're obviously talking about in the 50s, 60s, right?
No, now.
No, we're talking about right now.
We're back. We are back.
Because I mean, I was like,
we're in a space race. We're in a space race.
No, we're back
into
a new space race. And this started when Elon started talking about we need to get to Mars. We need to do XYZ, which I believe this year or next year he is sending up the first set of robotic humanoids, which are his Tesla robots, that will go up and start implementing the housing, all of the.
Has anybody seen Prometheus?
Living.
Just saying.
That's going to happen on Mars. That's going to happen on Mars. Actually, there's a phenomenal picture that like
the fact that somebody made a movie about that, we're doing it now.
Went nuts.
There's time travel.
Well, Terminator. I mean, AI. I just like. There's times I'm like, I'm prepping to be Sarah Connor right now. Like, I just am. Like,
but see, this is here's the problem, right? Like, that was getting the public.
And they were time traveling. I'm just saying.
It's getting the public desensitized through film. And if the government at these levels were just a little bit more honest with the technology and how they're handling things, and it didn't like, we have leaks on purpose. But the problem is how those leaks happen. Then we have social media crazy people that get a hold of it and spiral fear. And then no one knows what's the truth. And so, and it's not like they step in and be like, that's actually not what we said. They don't. And it's better to let that happen so they can continue to do what they do, if that makes sense. Like, just let us keep doing what we're doing. Let this happen over here because we need to really worry about this right now.
Absolutely.
This is so this leak was on purpose in order for us to focus on what we needed to do.
And what we're doing right now on the Motley Croc show with all of our friends on the side here commenting.
Yeah.
I know some of you probably weren't alive when it happened, but Max Headroom, when he cut in and started talking some weird shit and he got into broadcast, he was saying stuff like, you really need to look into that. I thought that was very interesting. He's like, hi. And he cut right into everybody's shit. And still to this day, nobody fucking knows who did that or where it came from. You know that,
true.
right?
Yep. That actually has happened twice now since that original tap in.
Right. So when you're sitting here doing what we're doing, you couldn't do in the 1970s. You were just they were just finding a way to cut in and do live TV interference in the 80s, whatever. So the going to the moon thing with these like garbage cans with little wind up zipper toys on them and go-kart wheels and shit to me, bro. When they're like, one strong man for mankind, he steps off the ladder and everybody's like, well, who the fuck took the picture? I don't know why anybody didn't ask that when it happened. I really don't. And I'm not saying that we didn't go, folks, so don't get all fucking upset at me. There's Troy again being an asshole. I'm saying question everything. The technology did not exist. The combustible motors in cars didn't even put that kind of power out. Airplanes
we
were still
didn't
having a
think
hard
it
time.
Existed. That's the problem is people, they only see one track.
They have it sitting there, Brittany. It looks like fucking aluminum foil on a goddamn swimming pool with wheels on it.
That was
no. There were some prototypes prior to the final. Huh?
I said that was a society that time during those times, like even just talking with my grandparents and like in the great aunts and uncles, when you really speak to them, they talk about that time period. People were so in the matrix at that point. They were willing to believe everything. And then just also going back to the Rockefeller?
They trusted their government too, I might add.
The people put too much trust into the government. Plus you had that change in the school system. If I remember correctly.
Thank you, Rockefellers.
Yeah. Where it's just like, you are just creating.
I was just reading that they were involved in killing Lincoln.
Yeah. You were just creating
Did you see that?
People to just believe whatever. You know, it was.
Did you see that, Craig? Yeah, space race. My dad quit NASA because of the shuttle. If we hadn't wasted time with the shuttle, we wouldn't be on Mars today.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So it's from the show, Troy. I remember
yes.
when Justin was loading up all of that shit. Yeah. It's again.
I love it. No, thank you. But I mean, Marissa had a valid point though, Brittany. And everybody believed in that then. And then people wonder why there's these big scary things that happen.
But here's the other side of the coin that people don't ever stop to think about. And not us here, but what I see when I'm reading the comments or when I'm like, okay, first of all, you're 21, you didn't live in the 50s. So you probably don't even know how to research the data at that time. You're just letting TikTok tell you, which is one of my biggest pet peeves. Okay. But at that time,
TikTok is real, bro.
Everything on it is real. It will not lie. At that time,
right?
Do I doubt that we went to the moon? Absolutely not. I think we did, but the public had a very simple mentality, right? We don't know what the real. I'm throwing this out there because I do believe in the mission. I do believe we went to the moon, but I do not believe that the mission to the moon was what the public thought it was really for. I think there was so much more because when you actually tap into it, and I have friends that actually worked at the time of NASA that I have talked to about this and how they had to cut the feed quickly because of what was being said, of what was happening on the moon surface when they got there. Because let us not forget, Collins was the one still in the orbiter watching what was happening above. He never actually got to touch the surface. It was only Armstrong and
Or Armstrong's still alive, and why won't he swear in a Bible?
No, those have all been edited and cut. That man, no, I don't believe half of those videos have been cut, spliced, and edited perfectly. He has. Do you know that they tried to blacklist him, and they tried this to both of them, It was Neil Armstrong and
They think Buzz
why
Buzz
can't I
Aldrin,
say
but Neil Armstrong
Aldrin?
they had respect for. Buzz
Aldrin,
Aldrin they
yes.
fucking thinks a fucking dipshit.
No, well,
But Neil
no,
Armstrong was really cool, and if you listen to him, the way he
Neil
speaks, he spoke in code. You really need to sit back and listen to him, Brittany. You'll be
he
really
did,
impressed.
but he also came out at the end telling everybody that they went to the moon and what their purpose was not what everybody thought. There was extraterrestrial life up there that they had to go see and get there before China. And it was because of the technology on there. And when that came out, he was at a hearing.
Thank you to the Germans. Just saying.
He jumped up at a table and got mad at the audience. And after that day, they labeled him senile and needed medical attention and help because he had had enough.
Of
and
course.
He stood up at a hearing and he said, I'm not crazy and I'm not going to lie for this government anymore. What are you going to do? Kill me? Yeah. I'm already on my deathbed. That's what he said. And right after that, and they tried doing this to Buzz, and Buzz went along with it for a while. And then after that, he just said, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not lying for you anymore. I'm not doing it anymore. We went up to the moon. This is exactly what happened. He punched a guy in the face 2 years ago for saying he didn't go to the moon. He literally punched him in the face. And he's like,
well, yeah, because you
90.
Know,
I was like, I love you, Buzz.
Got to stick with it.
Yeah, he just freaking.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said.
So I think that the mission to go to the moon was what the public believed it was for. Like, we have to take the moon. America has to be the first to the moon. No, I really believe that there were other things going on the moon and in our area that had to be done. So the public only heard one side.
Is my dead? Oh shit.
Yeah, he died.
Well, when was that?
I want to say
that's why I said he needed to
ago.
come clean, but I don't think he ever did.
He did. He came clean right before he died. But everybody said he was senile and didn't know what he's talking about. And they wrote it off. And everybody believes it to this day that he was old and senile and didn't know what he's talking about. And they came out and they're like, that happens all the time. He got old and
face
senile.
On the moon. I remember the face being found on Mars. I didn't realize the face was on the moon.
Well, the one theory on the moon is that it's fake, is that there's a hole on the backside of the moon, because we've never been to the backside. The whole backside of the moon is actually like an entire infrastructure, and it's monitored by a type of extraterrestrial life that has made buildings, and it watches us, and it's fake. Oh. That's another theory of what the moon is. Let me tell you.
And where did this theory come from?
It's people.
It's just
people like to create stories and put
I love it.
stories in holes that don't make sense. Like they just. Yeah. I have a really hard time.
That's a long time ago.
Oh my god, that was a long time
theories.
Ago.
Hey Matthew.
What's up, Matt?
Hi.
Oh, by the way, the other remember Matt that came with me to Belize?
Yeah.
He's here. He just doesn't know how to comment, Marissa, but he's here.
Like he's here. Like
he's watching. He's watching. He just doesn't. He said, "I can't figure out how to comment," but he's here.
Oh my God! Hello.
Yes, Noah. Back? You're right.
Let's
go.
Buzz
kayak. Is the shit.
Let's go kayak in small little streams with Crocs.
Buzz Aldrin is still here. I thought he died, didn't he?
Nope. He's still kicking it, and he doesn't take shit from nobody anymore. And he says exactly
Armstrong,
how it is.
He's.
I mean, at a point.
Neil died. Yeah, Neil died.
Yeah. Neil died shortly after he admitted some shit. So.
Yeah, he's 95 years old, and I think he's senile. I don't know. I think there's a lot of cover-ups. It's all government. I was reading an article today. And I like Popular Science. I like some of the stuff they put up because it's pretty open. Good. It's not very, it's not one-sided. It's just very open. But, the Rothschilds were connected to the assassination of Lincoln.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I meant Russia, not China. China is now. Russia was then. Sorry. We're space racing against China right now. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So you got to think about that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
I can't keep up. And the other thing, like to touch back on, because we kind of went a little bit. Oh, thank you.
Brittany, I didn't even know you were on TikTok. I never even look at that stupid fucking thing.
I'm not on TikTok, but Ant has shared stuff to his TikTok. I'm not on. I don't have a TikTok account. I had one years ago, and
I'm tell you what. I would give Ant credit for one thing. When you were filming him, and he posted the video of him as a woman watching a soap opera.
Oh,
and he was holding his robe shut. Not the one he posted, but the one you got it from the side. He's like,
Yeah,
and he
behind
has
the
his hair
scenes.
wrapped up like his mom. Whoa, my fucking God, did that take me back to the early 80s? That took me back to like 1982 when my mom was sitting and watch those things like that. Get out of the shower in the morning and turn on those day soap operas and stuff. Leave me at school for General Hospital because, Laura died or whatever. My God. I remember I was left in school. She left me at school so she could finish the episode.
That's awesome.
That was the
Oh
thing. He
yeah,
wasn't
she
kidding
forgot.
about
She
that.
was so caught up. Yeah.
He was
That's
not kidding about that. I died. When I saw that, I died.
So that would mean that people are sharing
Yeah,
them to
Matt, me neither, man. I
TikTok,
just get
Matt,
tired of
because
that.
I don't have it. So that's interesting.
yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
But yeah, the Ant puts a lot out there, and he's got 2 million people out there to watch him, so I'm sure it's getting passed all around. The Tammy
Mhm.
Thompson stuff.
Well, it's only on Instagram because I don't have a TikTok. And so when I was there, he made a reel. He goes, "Can you just improv on the spot as Tammy Thompson, but be off camera?" And I said, "Yeah, whatever." And he's like, "You can do it on the spot." I'm like, "Yes." Like, that's the other part of me that I never let people see. And so he's like, "Okay." And so we're sitting there, and he starts doing it, and I start chiming in the background. But it was so funny because the kids were there with us, right? And so Bimini comes out, and she moves the chair, and it starts like making horrible noise, and it caught Ann off guard. And I winged with it. I was like, "I'm just moving your furniture. I don't like how y'all have it all set up out here." And I just started going with it, and it kept moving. And I was like, "Sit still, just sit still," to Bimini. And so I just went with it. And
Yeah,
so he
Bimini's
posted
something
it.
else.
Well, she was trying to direct our reels while I was there. She
Because
was
Luke was
telling
seeing
us
Laura
what we
after he
needed
thought
to
she was
do.
dead for 2 years.
I
That's
love
why I was
how
left at
she
school.
remembers.
Oh, she remembers.
Of course she remembers.
talks about this.
I love it.
I
Yep.
remember all those traumatic times. Like I said, I remember the day Elvis died. My mom and I were in the swimming pool, and I want to believe it was somewhere in Sunrise. And my grandmother came running out of the back, and she's like, Judy, they found Elvis dead. And my mom's like, what? And she just fucking
Oh, yeah.
snatches me out of the pool, jumps out of the pool, and they're running in, and she was holding me, and we were watching the news, and we're like, sorry to say that Elvis Presley has been found deceased. I'm like, whoa, I remember that day. I remember it. I
That's like
remember my grandmother
yeah.
running out in sheer panic. Judy. And I was in the pool with my mom. It was crazy.
He
That
was like
was-
family to everybody. So when he died,
70s?
77,
Like,
1977.
right?
Mm-hmm. Troy was
Okay.
2.
Ooh, I got a little thank you guys. Thank you for spamming on my fucking page, you fucking assholes.
Gotta love him.
I got to sneak in their little shits.
Oh yeah.
Let's see what he says here. Anyone here familiar with a guy named Philip Schneider? He was supposedly worked for the government and lost fingers because he fought with aliens. No. Wait a minute. Noah. Coast to Coast.
He's talking about
I think
Philip
Coast to
Schneider.
Coast. Wasn't he on Coast?
Oh man.
Wasn't he on Coast to Coast talking to that guy on Coast to Coast radio about that?
Yeah. He's
Wasn't he?
made a
No
made
one
a
would
few.
know. No, he knows
he's-
what I mean. But Coast to Coast radio used to do
Coast
all
to
the weird
Coast is
stuff at
great.
night. It was really
Yeah.
cool.
George Norrie. George
Really
Norrie.
cool stuff. He's like, tonight we have someone with us, and one guy called in and said he was being stalked and he was going to be killed for saying what he said. You remember that whole thing?
Uh-huh.
I mean, there was some crazy shit.
He was the
See, but
only
this is what I'm
person.
saying, guys.
He was the only person that changed the airways at that time. Like he was very much like, I'm gonna make this because there's a niche for this and it's stuck.
I mean-
and thanks to him, like we were able to have people talking about this stuff in a
That's
comfortable,
it, Sage. Yes,
non-biased way.
Yes, Art Bell. That's what I was thinking of. Thank you, Art Bell. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Was that over
Yeah, I
Elvis?
remember that too. She was really upset. I remember that. He was a big thing. Like I felt like that when Ozzy died, man. People were like, all these little kids were like, "Oh, I just can't believe people are so upset that a singer died." It's like you guys don't understand because you live in this fucking fake planet world. You live in a fake world now. Everything's fake, right?
Yeah.
When in the 80s, when me and Craig and sure Sage and the rest of us were partying, we didn't go to synthetic girlfriend parties, folks. Where they have like fucking silicones, fake women where adult men are walking around with these goddamn toys that they fuck every night and talk to. Okay. We didn't have shit like that. So we had real life and we were fighting battles. So yeah, when we lose a major icon and of somebody that was trying to go against the grain, such as Ozzy was, and I might add, he was badass at doing it, and people shit down his neck every fucking time. One of my favorite things he said, I don't know why you guys are all complaining. He goes, I think hell's going to be pretty crowded if what I'm doing so wrong, because y'all are going to be right there with me. And there was a whole audience there. And I So yeah, so you get these kids now, and I saw that there was a convention for synthetic girlfriends. Like,
What?
what's wrong with people? Yes,
That,
there's a
like,
whole documentary on it. There's a whole documentary, and these guys sit in the room with them, and they're like putting lipstick on them, like "I love you," kissing on it and stuff. And they're like, I can't have a real
that
relationship,
is
but she's
insane.
We
always
need
here
a
for me.
psych ward. We need
What
a
is
psych
And they
ward
put
being
them,
back.
they
put
put
in
them under these
food
little,
and
they
water?
put them under these little warm blankets so they can heat them up before they have coitus. You got to hear them talk. You got to hear them talk. And then you think about these people, like when I'm walking around out shopping and I look at people, I go, are you one of those motherfuckers? Or it's always like the really old guy that has like a 22-year-old Japanese wife. You know what I'm saying? It's like this guy's 70, he can hardly walk, and his wife's like smiling with fake boobs. It's like, oh, you couldn't make it in real life, so you had to go over and put one of these poor children through hell and marry it and bring it over here. Fucking idiots. And they're not always
I-
white either. Like Marissa says, they're not always white. Just saying.
Say that they're always
Actually, you know what's really funny? Like, so
Not
mom
always.
said chat GBT.
Not always.
What's really funny, do you
Well-
guys remember the movie that came out a few years back? And it was with the comedian guy from, I want to say when Synthetic Valley or something Valley is
Yeah,
the comedy
they
kid.
do.
And they made a movie where he like had a relationship with Siri. But that's literally chat GBT. Do you
MJ.
remember that movie? I cannot remember what it was called. It was like,
I was at the hospital when MJ passed. Sorry, at like the hospital where they brought him in. Sorry, just that comment.
Yeah. And he pretty
Oh,
much
yeah.
shut the internet down when it happened.
That was in
The internet went wide open.
because he came into UCLA Medical, and my office at UCLA was just right across, and I was just getting out of lab work, and all of a sudden, you just
I want to say 2009,
paramedics,
right?
the cops, like everything. It was like, what the fuck is going on? And I was starving. I was like so mad because all of a sudden it was just like a horde of people within minutes just surrounding the
Yep.
hospital. And I saw the stretcher and it was like, what is going on? And then someone was like, MJ. Yeah, that was crazy.
that's insane.
Oh, baby, and he was pissed.
Yes. Yes. There's a guy, he has a bunch of them, dude. He has kids in there with him and everything, and they're all sitting there with him. Oh God, Craig, thank you for bringing the light to the
that
story.
owns the store
my
in,
God.
in Los Angeles, like he had one girlfriend and then he wanted another synthetic girlfriend. They're robotic though. Like, and they are kind of like Furby. Like the more they're with you, the more they learn. And so the first girlfriend started getting jealous of the second girlfriend and started questioning him. Why don't you like me like you like her? And he was like, wait a second. So he plugged her into the computer, and the computer, and this is all true. The computer started identifying emotions of cheating and insecurities and insufficient
Because it was programmed, because somebody
emotions.
programmed that in there.
She was
Period.
not. This is the thing. She actually was not. He
did hear about
designed
this.
these. She
They
designed.
have access to the internet. They can get on the web and they can learn that way. It's all programming.
It's
all of it.
not. They are, and this happened in the 70s where computers were learning to code themselves. And I'm not lying. I'm serious. This is actual.
I know
real
you're not lying.
Science.
I'm just saying somebody put it in there.
It didn't.
Talk to your
so
dad
he
about it.
talked to dad. Dad even said, I worked at the time when the computers were talking to
And he
each
goes,
other and
everybody, and
nobody
dad
knew
will also
how.
say everybody's freaking out about AI, but it's just programming.
I get that, but there are some
In the wrong hands.
systems that are learning how to code themselves by learning. Like, and that is the fear that a lot of these major AI companies are putting a hold on some of their tech because they said, we don't know how this is happening. It should not be coding itself into these emotions.
Yeah, it's called a hacker.
So we're stopping it. Like we're taking a pause. So I'm just saying,
hacker.
so this guy and his little sex dolls, he had to have like a come to Jesus meeting with both of them to be like, it's not that I don't love you both, because I do. So he had his blonde doll and his brunette doll, and he had to explain what he loves about them both and how both of them take care of him in different ways, some emotionally, some mentally. And they were both like, okay, like, and people were going and having conversations with these girlfriends, and he is one of the top
there
leaders in making
there are,
these
you know,
dolls, and he makes men and women.
There are
now.
psychological problems where people
Like,
have
what
affairs
the
with inanimate
fuck?
objects, Brittany. Like that's
Oh,
a
I
real
know.
thing. I remember this guy was in
Yeah.
love with his Corvette and he used to fuck it and stuff. I know Craig saw that documentary too.
What?
People have married bridges.
Yeah, they married their car and all kinds of stuff, and he married it
there's
and he loves her and he's
weird
out there
shit out
licking the
there.
seat. He's weird too. But You know, you have to think about that stuff. Brittany.
Troy
That's-
probably does, Noah, when Tupac died.
What's that?
Oh, I remember that.
Tupac?
Oh, I
Does
remember
anybody
when
remember when
Tupac was-
Tupac?
I remember when he supposedly died. Of course.
Yeah, I like to say supposedly. I don't know about his death.
You just never know with these
y'all.
guys, and they do all these big stunts, and they come back a year later.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Married their
But now listen,
We have people
when
marrying
you think
ghosts.
about that, Brittany, people doing that weird shit like that, dude. There's some
Oh, yeah.
weird people. Here's what I think's funny: the people that you see out there today that cry because, or they have a mental breakdown because their coffee macchiato or whatever didn't have enough sugar and they have a breakdown, right? They're usually obese, ugly as fuck, and they're crying. That's called Generation Alpha.
Oh, I don't even know
Generation
what the alpha.
Alpha.
Okay.
Wow.
Of all the things they could call it,
Why
they call
are
them
they
Generation
alphas?
Alpha. You tell me.
I
How
think the 80s babies should be called alphas.
Yeah, no shit.
No way.
Or
We're
late
X, and we always will
70s.
be because we don't want nothing to do with your shit.
But can I ask a question? Can I ask a
See
question?
ya.
Like, when the hell did we start getting labels as like generational labels? When did that happen?
A long time ago. You have boomers. You
The
have.
boomers.
Well, I know
Millennials, you have Gen
boomers have
Z.
been. Well, I know boomers had been around forever, but I have to be 100% honest.
They were called
And I
boomers,
was
I believe,
very
because after the war, they
social.
wanted everybody to breed and boom the society up. Correct?
Yeah, but that's fine. But I'm talking about all the other names that came after. Like, I feel like people just started making shit up in 2020. Like, I'm
Well,
sorry.
I don't. No, because Gen X they've talked about Gen X as far back as the 1970s and 80s.
time.
I'm talking about, it's
But
some
the new
scientific
stuff?
coding to it. You have to look it up. It just keeps going.
Because
Yeah.
now I'm
You have
like,
to look it
I
up.
feel
There's some science to it. I don't know. I'm not educated on it, so I'm not going to speak on it. But there is some
Yeah.
science to
It's
it,
been
and
a
I will
shift
look back
with-
into it again.
Yeah, 'cause I
But it's
wanna
called
know.
Generation Alpha.
Technology.
okay,
It's
well,
a
this
shift with technology, the economics, and the politics of the time. That's why it's not like 1970 to 1980. Like, there's a little bit of a shift,
Right,
it's not
Matt?
like decade
The
for
fuck?
decade. And so that's why you get these different labels. But it's human nature.
it
We
just
have to put a
because
label
people-
on everything?
But
We have
that's the
to put a
thing. I'm
label
like,
on
you just don't
everything.
understand how to say that was the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. That was the 21st century. Like, that was
Again,
so. If it's the 18th century, it was the 1700s. Is it really that hard? Like, now we have to label it as like that was the X team. What are we
Now
freaking
no, we
X-Men
based- listen,
comic books?
growing
I don't
up-
like it.
growing up in the late 70s and 80s and into the mid 90s for me. Okay. That was all really much led by fucking evangelists and religion. That's how that was
Mhm.
led. That was very, very, that was where nobody, so, Matt said, oh my gosh, gays couldn't be married. That was one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. Why somebody, doesn't matter if you're gay or straight, why you can't get married. I never got that.
I don't.
I never understood that. But there are people who are like, well, that's just because whatever their religion was said it was wrong.
It's terrible.
Right. Oh, here's another one. I read another story today. You know how there's like this. I don't particularly know what branch of Judaism it is or what the Jews do, but the ones that like suck on the penis when the baby gets circumcised.
That's
Ready for this?
Orthodox.
So one of the guys doing the sucking, I just read this story, folks. So if you're going to cringe, hold your ears if you get offended. One of the guys doing the sucking was spreading around the herpes virus to these babies, and 2 infants died. Real story. So they were trying to step in. And they were like, well, you can't interfere with the religious rights or whatever, right? And they were trying to step in and say, no, it's not safe. It's not sanitary. And this person has this. So there needs to be a cylinder that's so the baby's not really touched if you want to give it a little sucky. Why they do that, I don't know. And they were talking about it. And these guys, their big robes, their big black beards, like, oh, well, their ringlets. Oh, well, it's part of what? If my son was born, he's circumcised, the last thing I want to do is be sucking the blood off his penis. What the fuck is that? Sorry. So, and now it was spreading diseases and 2 children died. I read the whole article today and I wanted to get into it, but I'm like, oh, I get sensitive people sometimes. Nobody really wants to talk about it, but that's a real thing. Again, that's where religion gets in and fuck shit up. Like, you can't be married if you're gay. I don't know who came up with that. I'd like to know where that came from and where that rooted, because that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my fucking life.
I
That's
that would be
probably-
rooted in
2 people just want to be in matrimony.
Well, that's what I was
Doesn't
saying. I
have
was thinking
anything
it
to
was
do with
probably
God or
like,
anything. They just want to be bonded together. You don't ever stop somebody with that.
But
As a matter of fact,
this goes back
that goes back to
like,
witchcraft. So I don't know why anybody would even say that, because witchcraft has no problem with people being united. So
No,
it's just
because-
strange.
It's if you go back to the root of Judaism, Christianity, and all that, it was very like man and woman, apparently, because the Bible that we read today, y'all, this was rewritten by a king in the 1500s. Like, we don't really know what the actual Bible is unless we actually see the scrolls from thousands and thousands of years ago. But when you look at other indigenous cultures, it was okay. Like, if you were with
Fucking
another
A
woman,
Sage.
with another man, it wasn't a big deal. This whole thing with the two genders, that is very much rooted in Judeo-Christianity, because you look at other indigenous cultures, they have 3 genders, they have 5 genders, whatever.
I did, Noah.
But it's not to what it is today, I feel like, with all these gender things that are happening right now. Like, that kind of goes off. That's another topic off the indigenous. But so again, this whole idea of like no such thing as gay marriage, this is rooted in Judeo-Christianity, because the majority of the world in our society over Homo sapien evolution and time, it was not a big deal. So it's really just been a big deal in more of our modern history.
Yep.
Oh, I did send something to my dad today. In Russia, you can actually pay to go out on a cruise to kill pirates.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly,
Oh
Matt.
my gosh.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah, you can pay. It's like $7,500. You get a gun. They take you out to the channels where the pirates are, and you can shoot at them with high-powered guns and kill them. It's a real thing.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy.
All right. Russian tour. Hey guys,
That's like,
we're gonna go kill pirates this summer.
Man, that is like so.
Marissa and her dad are out there.
Yeah.
Oh, you missed them. You missed them.
Listen, I'm
I
not
think I
gonna
killed
lie.
the kid.
I
I
think
killed the kid.
that's like kind of vintage, you know? Like, I'm not gonna lie. It's like
Marissa
you get
shoots
to
the
be a
kid 'cause it was
pirate for
easy.
a day. It's like I get to be a pirate for a day. Like, I get to fight another pirate.
I
Kinda
mean, yeah, it's kind of cool.
I'm not gonna lie. The only
Yeah.
thing,
The one
like,
thing you have to remember though is that that's really cool and everything, but you have to remember that they usually have guns too and they fire back. So it's not like you're just out there shooting ducks in the water.
So we need to advance and have cannons on the ship. That's what you're saying. Because they
There's
ain't gonna think
videos,
about
the
that.
guys have hired military guard now that stand when the pirates come up. I've been sending dad videos because he likes that stuff. But I send them and they're like fucking shooting at them. And you see these idiots. I don't know what they're thinking. They're always like this big around, these little stick guys. And they're driving up in this little boat. And there's guys with full artillery, military trained men going, just spraying them off, blowing the boats up. Like, if you don't have enough brains to know that your sneaker size fucking kayak with a goddamn motorcycle motor with a fake propeller on it to a barge ship with military crew, and you're going to zip up on it like you're going to beat the bullets, you got to be as stupid as the day is long. Like, what the fuck? Do you not have anything going for you in life to even know the difference? Size matters there, guy.
No, they don't.
Bro, these things look like soda cans with a bunch of sardines stuck in it, driving up to these major ships. And these guys with lenses on their eyes with these guns going, I mean, high artillery too, 50 calibers and stuff. They're not shooting, 22s at them. And you can see it hit the water. Look, when the rounds hit the water, it looked like a basketball size bullet by the time it hits the water, the spread. So, they're just, it's unreal to me that you could actually do it. Might be kind of fun. Sage, I'll go with you. I probably would go. I think it'd be a blast.
I was going to say this, like, hearing this kind of stuff is like what, like,
aim for the guy driving the boat. The best way to do it.
There was a movie. This is like my ideal world. Somewhere someone's going to see this and be like, Brittany's sick in the head. Whatever. I don't want to be friends with you then. But there was a movie.
That's true. They were
like,
trying to do that stupid fucking shit.
I like the idea, but I want to make it my idea. So there was a movie where like the rich would take these people and then they released them like deer.
Correct.
And they would have to chase them and kill them on this big property, right? Like, it was certain individuals in society, and these.
I think Ice-T was in a movie like that.
I don't think he was in this one, but I think
Ice-T was in a movie like that where they took those people and rich people got to pay to go hunt them.
Yeah, and like they had to come to a house because in the one I saw, their one girl ends up surviving, and I think Hilary Swank was in it, somebody like that. But anyway,
Craig, I'm with you on that one.
Listen, I want to be able to.
I can't say how I feel about that.
I want to be able to do like that movie Presence, right? Like that idea. I don't have to be wealthy.
We'll leave that up for a while, Craig.
I want to. Jeez Louise. I want to do that, but I want it to be
the
like
doo-doo cruise.
Like, I've lost everybody. I'm done.
Craig did it. It's your fault, Craig. All right, Brittany, go
Doesn't
back.
matter.
I'm sorry,
No,
Craig. I have to
it
take down the
doesn't
most
matter.
amazing comment. The most amazing comment of the night. I'm going to take off for a
What did
second.
Noah say?
I'm getting to know her right now.
Because he's
right now.
asking Marissa.
Marissa, I think we're more than two genders in other cultures. I think that was a masculine woman and a feminine man being allowed to be openly about themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Yeah. I know, for the Ine, or Apache, but the real name is Ine. I know we had 3 genders. I do know that. And then their Hopi, I believe, had 5. I can't remember how they designated the 5 genders, though.
Yeah, one was a shoemaker. One rode horses. One, because if you look at some of the terminology of gender doesn't have anything to do with your sexual orientation. It has to do with what you do and who you are a lot of times.
In
so
history.
It's interesting how it got twisted into some other things to make political movements. People pick a word, don't do anything with it, and then just blow it all out of proportion.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you,
social media. Because it used to be
media.
something that you did. It was, you had this gender that did this gender that did that, but it didn't have anything to do with the X and Y chromosomes at that time. That's not what
your identification of who you were.
Correct.
Was based off of like what you did in your town or
right.
what was your specialty. Yeah.
And a lot of the times they had these little spots that the women had when they were menstruating. They had to go to the end of the village. They weren't allowed in the village until they were done. I mean, that's true
right.
too.
Yep. They had tents and huts.
And now they got it where
like
women can only look out of one eye. Listen, if you're a beater, if you're that kind of guy that just likes to beat women, go home and have a Red Bull and go beat a woman, you got to move to the Middle East because these guys cover them up, and now they wear eye patches. I sent it to Marissa today. They get one eye they get to look out of. They only get one eye, which really fucks with your equilibrium.
Who?
One eye.
The
that's
women?
The Middle East. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I sent it to Marissa.
You want to give me
these poor women, because in the 70s, they never dressed like this. They never lived like this. Their life was so different.
We don't tolerate that shit over here. We don't do that to nobody. No. You're not doing that to anybody. I don't care if it's guys, girls, kids. You don't do it. But if you want to go partake in that and get you one, go over there and do it. They seem to enjoy it.
Well, they showed it on the news the other day, and I guess everybody just doesn't. I don't know where it didn't land on anyone's table, but
people
they showed.
I don't give a fuck. They're
they were like, hey, they just went in and these are the people that everyone wants to support, but they literally showed what happens with what they do with young girls and women. They went in and raided the homes and took the young girls and put them chained together so that the one guy could choose his next bride. And fully, you couldn't see their faces. And it was like ages 12 to 15, and they're all just lined up. They have the right to do it. Bullshit, I'll cut your hands off, bitch. You come in my house. I don't care.
No, but
I don't care what your religion is.
You can't, you can't hear, but in
not
a
there.
World
I'm
like
saying
that,
here, you're not trying your
you would
shit
never get
that
past
you do there.
Daddy,
here,
Uncle Ahmed, and all them guys, they'd get in your way before you ever got a chance. But what about that one that guy, that 45-year-old Ahmed Akbar, or whatever his name was, married that 12-year-old? He fucked her till she died.
I don't like hearing those.
And
stories.
It was okay. Are you listening to me? It was okay. And she got an honorable burial. Fuck. When I read stuff like this, I think, oh, you guys are not insane. And then when people defend that lifestyle, to me, blows me away. It blows me the fuck away that you would defend that lifestyle. I'm sorry.
But
you can call me whatever you want to call me. Whatever. I don't care what your race is. I don't give a fuck if you're gay. I don't care if you want to be a peacock and have sex with a tortoise. I don't give a fuck. But that type of lifestyle there, to me, is absolutely uncalled for.
And it's unfortunate because they're utilizing
a child
to say it's okay. And it's really horrible that people are utilizing, but it's my religion or it's this.
I hate that bullshit.
No excuse.
Yep. They use the religion to be a sicko. They use it to be a sicko, is what they do. They just use the religion factor to be a sicko.
So why don't we start a new religion? We get a bunch of black ops and their religion is sodomizing.
I was just going to talk about my movie, was that we get to go and collect all of these a-holes, and we get to go and have fun and treat them like deer. We get to chase them down and shoot the shit
People
out
are going
to
hate me for this. I'm going to get so much hate tomorrow on my
channel.
I can't believe you would say such awful things.
First of all,
I'm not saying anything that they're not doing, goddammit.
First of all, anybody that can do anything to a child, I don't care who the hell you are.
Or an animal. You can't be butt-fucking dogs and cats either.
Everybody knows how I feel about animals. But I'm saying a child, you need to suffer horribly. And I mean to the point to where we can put you on like some type of streaming and we all can eat popcorn and watch you slowly bleed. I think every single person shouldn't share my air if they do that to a child. And when you do, it's like a rage switch goes off in me. And if you follow me and you think this is okay, please do not follow me, because I have children and you are sick. And I hope to God that you get locked up with the Joker in the insane asylums, because don't come around me if you think it's okay to do to children.
You know how many American men are going to grow a beard and go over there?
Absolutely not.
I know.
No. Pedophile central. Thank you.
Hold on. They don't look at it. But listen, they don't look at it as pedophilia. Hold on. Let me be the devil's advocate for a minute. I'm not justifying it. What I'm about to say is not justifying it. You still should die. You still should be burnt. But here's what I'm saying. When you're brought up generation after generation after generation of that, they don't know that right and wrong doesn't exist in that world. You understand that?
Well, yeah, it's a mentally trained thing in their society, in their culture.
Different than the way you feel about it your way. So that's what I mean. But the problem is that's been bred into their DNA for so fucking long. Right?
Listen.
I told you about that incident I was telling Marissa about Universal Studios. Now, I want to say it was back in 2011, 10 or 11, when that one came over and he had all of his family there, and he was wearing like a Hawaiian shirt, because they all get to wear loafers, Rolex watches, and their women are all in the hot black shit. And I don't know what she did. I was talking to one of my friends that worked there. It's something about she had moved something over to drink water and her face was exposed, and he beat the fuck out of her right there in front of the Terminator show when it used to be Terminator. Like, they go blah, 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 or whatever they do, and they yell, and they point in their face, and they do that hammer fist, and they punch them like this on the bridge of the nose, and they beat them until they're like this. That's what they do to them. And it's okay. And then they go, get up, and they throw them against the wall, and then they go over and they're like, I like a ice cream. Listen, motherfucker.
Ooh,
you can call me whatever you can call me whatever you want, man. And I've got friends in the military that have smoked those hot dogs quite a few times for seeing shit like that. I'm just telling you that I don't care if you hate me for that. You should not do that. Nobody should be hitting on nobody, first of all. But that's unacceptable. And the way that they dress them now with just one eye, and they start them right when they're about 12. They have to start wearing that uniform.
Oh, yeah.
You see them walking around like they're fucking, they look like a bunch of nun ninjas out there walking around like nun ninjas and shit. I don't know.
The new nickname, a nun ninja.
But again, this goes back to control. It goes back to control. It goes back to some man way back in the day, insecure, controlling, and it just has it's just seeped into the religion. This is all about control and dominance to fill us whole. There's something mentally wrong there. And even just because it's been passed down generations doesn't mean it's right. You know what I mean? Generations, thousands of years, slavery was okay, but was it really right? No, I would hope that's society is understanding slavery was not the best thing, but you know what I mean? And animal torture and this and that. I would think.
I don't want to see, if you choose to follow a religion, I don't like any
What's
religion.
up, Ricky? Dropping
Ricky Rocket. I'm so glad you're here, bro. I'm so glad you're here. I'm looking for you too, and that's weird enough. I love Ricky. You're the fucking bomb.
We love you.
He just pops in at the right
Ricky.
time. Here's the deal. Let me say this, Brittany, one more time.
A good guy.
I'm not a fan of religion. Okay, I think religion lies within thyself. Okay, I don't want to force what I believe on somebody in public. What I choose to practice in my own home is my own home. But when it comes to beating children, hurting animals, beating women, and I love you too, bro. I'm gonna get a hold of you next week. We got some stuff to do. Congrats on your sign up with that ghost stuff. Pretty awesome.
Go
on that
Circus.
too, man.
Congrats. Good
and
stuff.
Me and Brittany are catching up with you when you guys tour here in 26. I'll call you and we're gonna meet up. Me and Brittany are gonna come meet you.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say to you is that keep it to yourself. Listen, if you want to wear weird clothes and stuff like that and you're in America, that's great. Don't be beating on anybody and don't force someone to follow that. Because religion to me is corruption. It always has been, because everybody believes that their religion is right and they force it on every other person, right? And you should know, Brittany, having the faith you have, being in the paranormal world, the shit you get for it.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So, and there's a lot of stuff that people want to have faith in, and I try really hard. I'm not a people person.
I keep it to myself. That's the problem people don't do anymore.
I think I'm really easy to get along with. I worked with Matthew for a long time. Matthew and I had a blast, And of all these macho fucking dudes that were there, Matthew's the one that caught Lee and caught him out, got that fucking crocodile that broke loose and got out of the water. He's the only one that did it.
He's not saying you aren't
He caught the
masculine,
crocodile,
Matt.
man. He caught the
We
crocodile.
love you, Matthew.
We will have the best show ever done in crypto. We sure will. We absolutely will.
Yeah, Ricky.
Yep, we're all working on that. We're going to have a really good time with that, man. Ricky, I'll be getting a hold of you. Yeah, and I just think that all that kind of stuff and doing that to people, that's the problem with the world, forcing your agenda on someone else, right?
Yep.
I can't go to Belize and bring some strong, unethical religion to that culture that they've had for thousands of years. It's wrong. If I choose to go to Belize, I assimilate to what they do. If I choose to believe differently, that's my own private thing. I don't have to go broadcast it everywhere and hurt people in the making. You understand? Like there's just rules that you follow in different turfs.
That's
It's
like the part
turf,
I don't.
and
But
you
that's the
respect
part.
it.
That's the part I don't understand. So if we go to some other
What's up,
country,
Tara?
it's like you
Right?
better respect us or else. Like you can't change. Don't bring your stuff over here. This is how we've been. Don't mess with us. But then
Right
they
on
come
stage. Well
here
said.
and they're like,
Well said.
I hate it over there. I'm here because it's cooler. But now I want to change everything here to how it was there. But you left there because you didn't like it there. And we tried helping you out and you didn't want our help. But now you want to come here and change everything here that saved your ass? No, it's not okay. No. But this happens. But this happens all over from country to country where it's like you can't do it here. But then I'm going to go to this country and I want to change this country. No, because you wouldn't let me change your country. It's so.
There really is. Listen, there's really only one.
It's like, God, guys,
that does that. There's only one culture that does that. Okay. Because I live in it. My neighbor is Japanese. She goes to Japan all the time and she's an amazing lady. And that's her thing. But she doesn't try to turn my neighborhood into Japan. Do you understand? There's only one culture that comes over and does that shit and goes out and does that shit. And then you get these idiot white dumbasses that are in these political things, and they use that to their advantage to breed hatred and fear tactics to cause segregation, to give the wrong ideology. And they take the worst of the worst, rather it be Muslims, Christians, or whatever the hell else is out there, and they broadcast that to the most thing, and they ruin people's lives.
Yep.
Because I grew up in an era of hatred as a kid. I never hated. I didn't care about hating nobody. That wasn't my thing. I didn't care what you did or what you did. To me, the only religion I ever had was music. That's it. And that's something I told Ricky the other day.
Craig.
I said, you have to understand something, Ricky. What he was able to get on top of and be a band that was out there and work with the other bands, they were saving a lot of people's lives. There's a lot of kids that didn't kill themselves. There's a lot of people that learn to have a good time or release stress because music is healing. I'm sorry. I don't care if it's
music
Marissa's
and
booty
comedy,
shaking, jungle rock beating on a turtle shell shit, dancing around, or it's fucking heavy metal drums and guitars. I'm just telling you, and singing, music is awesome. And I like a wide variety of music. I'm just saying, and I thank Ricky for that because a lot of people do. Those bands were a big part of our lives. Ozzy was a big part of our life, big influence. I don't care if you hate him or not. He was a big influence. Whether you hated him, he influenced you, or whether you loved him, he influenced you. And the bottom line is music is healing. And a lot of people don't say that enough. They don't say it enough.
The beginning of human culture.
Even in the churches, they all fucking sing. Everybody uses music. So music's the only religion I know, and it's the only one I'm going to live and die by.
Even on my social media platform, I will never, and I won't even do it here. I will never give where I sit on anything, right? Like, because I feel like that's my personal business.
Correct.
And I'm not going to judge like anybody else. Everybody knows I have friends with all different religions, all different backgrounds, everything, because I don't care. If you're a good person and you have my back and we're good friends and you're there for me and you don't hurt a child or an animal, we're good. I don't give a shit what you do behind closed doors and what religious you practice. I don't care. And I'm here to support it.
That's got to be tough, Sage.
Like, I don't care. And so, like, I will get people literally asking me if, like, oh, well, how come you don't post about what just happened on the news? Because my social work has nothing to do with political or religion. Nothing. I'm here to make people laugh. I'm here to talk about the things that I find interesting. And I don't want to bring it up because the world is so corrupt and I just want to like you for you. There's the cool part of us. There's the funny part.
We all just need to go back to the 80s, dude.
That's right.
We all just need to go back to the 80s. Come on. When I saw this,
my God, Ricky.
Aunt told me, Troy, if you don't get that box, you better go back and get it. I went back and grabbed it.
Ricky, when I lived in LA, my buddy and I would drive by the Scientology church and be like, oh, do you think the alien babies are out walking around?
Oh my God. Yeah.
We would just crack up jokes. And then my buddy would be like, no, they can smell that you're broke. And then put you in the church. looked at
I'm
you.
with you, Ricky.
I smell
Hey,
broke.
that's funny you say that, Ricky, because I just watched the whole thing, a whole documentary on Clearwater.
Oh,
Take a look at that.
oh.
And they built a brand new building down there, and the top level of
So
this massive
crazy.
building belongs to Tom Cruise.
It's so
Just
crazy.
saying.
It's scary down there. It's quiet.
Dave,
and
what's up, buddy? Good to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a little wild down there at times, and I think that you know, Ricky, I agree with. I'm going to put it up again. Unless it's Scientology, I draw the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I draw the line, and that's what I mean. I try to be like some of the stuff that Ricky and I are talking about
Demon
working on and stuff.
babies.
You just have to have an open mind with everything. You can't be clouded,
do.
right? And one of the things he said that he goes into is like, you know, anytime we go to a place, Brittany knows, and so does Ricky. Like, you go to a place and they'll go, oh yeah, sometimes the drums play themselves and the wind blows in here, and we know it's it's Johnny. Well, then Ricky will do the investigation. There's never been a Johnny ever there. Nobody even died on that property. So it's all made up. But he had to go in there with an open mind. And I really think that's with everything. Whatever you go in to investigate, learn about, look at it all. Don't just take the idiosyncrasy. I mean, I remember people calling the band Poison Satanist because of how they wrote the letters. How fucking stupid
Yeah.
is that? I mean, really? Like, really? There's satanic letters? So the whole culture itself was, I can't wait till we release this podcast. It's going to be,
I mean, in some of the
it's going to be
locations
insane. I mean,
too,
it's just going to be insane.
It takes one person to say, oh, I think I talked to a little Johnny. And they're like, oh my God, they have the name of this person now. And so then they'll run with it for years. And it's like, it took one person to be like, oh, I spoke to Johnny. It's like, no, you didn't. You didn't talk to Johnny. What is wrong with you people?
Like,
Yeah,
I wish they would offer us. I wish we could sleep in the same room with Annabelle.
I don't know. You might be able to eventually.
I would totally. And what
She's
is that
encased.
little doll?
Robert the doll. Now, Robert, you can go down and see anytime you want. I love Robert.
Yeah, I just have a hard time with it, man, because I've heard a lot of stuff, and
I've had too many weird.
Are you talking about Annabelle?
In Europe, I'm just like, there's certain things.
Listen,
with dolls and stuff. Nope.
There's only one doll that's ever been possessed. That's fucking right on, and that's Chucky. Period. End of story. Chucky was the shit. Listen, when the storm came in and he was in that toy box, that guy, he puts his hand on that doll and he's like, oh, dead in bed. He puts his soul in the doll gets up, bro, and he's like killing people. That's the best. That's the best thing ever to me. I love Chucky's one of my favorites. Good old Chucky.
The thing that people don't realize is, like, if you invite an evil spirit to obviously you're not going to do it to like a can of Coke, but if you have a doll or you have an object like that, that you literally can, according to the exorcists and the actual exorcising priests, you can invite. They have to be invited in, right? Consciously, subconsciously, they have to be invited in. So once they're invited into that object, they then possess it as their own, and it's not like they walk around like, hey, I'm moving the arms and I'm coming through the house,
Craig.
and my name is Mazakia.
Ricky, let's go sleep in the poltergeist house. I'm game.
But like, oh yeah, they just redid it. You can rent it now at Airbnbs. Like, they did it vintage style. The owners, it's incredible. Like, just like the movie. But anyway, so long story short, like, you can just as much as like you can actually make a portal out of anything through.
Yeah. A lot of people say
they literally do that.
Like, a lot of people say, oh, there's no, I don't believe in
spiritual
ghosts
or
interdimensional beings, right? Nobody believes in interdimensional beings. We are interdimensional.
They exist.
Beings.
Science proved them.
I think we are, but I think we are. We're just experiencing a mortal, or if you will, a flesh and bone experience. I think that it's just another experience. We're in a dimension now where we're flesh and blood, because I don't think the spirit ever really dies. Now, it may get transferred into another body, or it may just go on into another dimension and live with its other. But I think we're all interdimensional. And I think that for someone to say something like that doesn't exist, it's kind of hard for me to say that, because I really don't know. And in my experience, there have been some things. Ricky can probably understand the same. He said the same things. One of the stories, Ricky, God, I wish I had you on here. He talked about this tree, and he got his foot stuck in a root, and some guy came up to him and said some cool shit, and I'm not going to ruin it because it's a really cool story Ricky talked about. And it was almost like he was in two dimensions at the same time. And he said he really couldn't explain it. I thought it was really cool. And so there's some things like that just happen for us. And
I
you
think
find that when you get in life and death situations, that's when you see it. Like, not everybody here has been in a life and death situation. Very few of us have. But when you get into that, when you're just about dead, which I have been twice now, there's this sound and this, I, like a bunch of voices in water blended into one. And it's so insane to me that I don't know, man. It's just an interesting thing. And there are people in the military, police, car accidents, childbirth, just that have experienced that. They've almost flatlined or they're dying, and that's it. And so there's something there. It's not like it's not cracked up in it. I know it's chemical induced or whatever, but it's still something there. And there's something to it. So I can't say no, there's nothing. I would never say that. Just like I would never say there's no God or there's no. I don't believe in that. I believe that there's something going out there. I just don't want to put a button on it and tell everybody else they're wrong. That's just how I feel about it. That's just how I feel about it. And so,
but everyone's has a different sensitivity to everything, and so some people are going to be able to more easily experience whether it's an interaction.
Yes, Noah. Well said.
From the spirit realm, or even with those near-death experiences, more so than others. And a lot of it is just the openness that we already have. Just
Lance, I totally believe that, bro.
You're not going to have an experience similar to others.
I totally believe that, Lance. Totally.
So, I mean, even
I think
just
when you dream, you leave.
Even just like in the spirit realm, because you know what I mean. It's being more empathic, being more sensitive, like. I have absolutely been bruised and fucked up by spirits before. Europe was gnarly for me. There are certain parts in Europe I will not go back. It was gnarly. But other people, because they're so close-minded, they would not have gotten the bruises, the scratches, and everything else. I'm more. No, that's not real. Because I am more open-minded. I'm more sensitive to all that stuff. And so that's where a lot of people are like, you're just talking crap or this or that or whatever. It depends on who you are at that point. And
when I started working on my consciousness of understanding like what my abilities were, like growing up, I realized them in like my mid-20s. And I've continued to think about it now. And I'm like, this is really weird. And I don't talk about it often because people that are like, I say of the sound mind would be like, you're insane. But when I walk into a building, sometimes I have flashes of the past of things that are transpiring at the time, whether it's good or bad. And I can talk about the people and what they look like, what they wear, where they're heading, where they're going. And people have said to me, oh, you're seeing ghosts. I don't believe that. I think I'm actually just able to see the past from the energy and the frequency of the house, like playing back like a movie in my head. So I don't think I'm seeing ghosts. It's just that's what I see.
Or you're seeing something that was just energy replayed, or you're seeing somebody living in a different realm.
That,
and we see each other and we think we're ghosts, but we're really just in two separate dimensions.
Right. I'm just saying, like, I've seen things, and then the person that I've seen was actually in a photograph that I'd never seen before. So like I was able, but it was a long time ago. I don't see into the future. I don't see current, but like in some buildings, if I walk in, I'm like seeing things, or I'm seeing people in my head, like a movie, and I can tell you what they're doing.
We know you have an
overactive
overactive mind. That's okay. I'm just joking. I'm joking.
That's why I don't share shit.
I'm joking. It's a joke because I don't use equipment.
No.
You know how I feel about equipment. Brittany's told me don't talk about that because people take that shit. I don't use equipment.
Because there are certain people that don't know how to use their body. They use the equipment, and I don't.
If you're in tune,
I don't hate
you
on
don't
them
need
for
the
that.
equipment. I don't turn a flashlight on and watch it go. Oh, it's flashing. Yeah, because a breeze came through and it caused the electrical current to touch, or there's a magnetic field here because there's some stones lined up right. I don't think about it that way. Pieces of consciousness may exist in your cells of the brain. Do they die or transform? Do you remember when Ricky talked about like somebody killing themselves and their conscious being splattered on the back of the wall and what they're aware of? I think that kind of gave me the chills when he told me that, because that's awful to think about somebody in that predicament.
Yeah.
And that's really awesome. Yeah, Sage, you have a good one. Brittany was pretending to be possessed object. Brittany reminded me of Pinocchio. Wants to be a real boy.
Wait, possessed object? Which one was that one?
Take care, Sage. Enjoy it. I'll put it back up for you.
This when I was pretending. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to be a real boy.
You know, sorry. Yeah. 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 Oh,
all right,
no,
buddy.
I hope
You take care,
better. I'm watching
I'll be watching that. Check out Legend Tripping.
Gettysburg.
If you guys don't know, Ricky does have a really good page. It's Ricky Rocket's Legend Tripping. It's on YouTube. He really puts a lot of stuff together and goes out and he digs real deep into stuff. It's in his terminology, he coined it reverse paranormal. It's pretty cool. You guys should check it out.
And he breaks it down logically and he calls it
Thank you.
out. So I'm a huge, I made a reel showcasing, like, please go follow like an actual real investigator who does the real shit. So way to go,
because
Ricky.
it's his passion, you know, it's his
That's
passion.
the difference. When you care about it and you really love it, you want the truth, you want the facts, and that's where you find the good shit. So yeah, thanks, Ricky. I'm going to keep promoting the hell out of it, man. It's good stuff. I want to see the Gettysburg one, though. I do want to see that.
Troy holding up a tiny little turtle at Gara. Case closed. I did that. He's talking about when me and Justin found that water turtle. I got found the Gara.
Yeah, because he pretended he's like,
oh man, yeah, dude. Because me and Justin are pretty skeptical. No, I mean, you know. Yeah,
one day I'm going to
definitely
prove
do
him
that.
wrong, Noah. One day. It's going to take me
Nice
a
meeting
while.
you, Marissa. See you, Ricky.
Take care of those kids, Ricky.
But listen, we are like an hour and 30 minutes into the show. So we definitely need to let's end it so everybody can end on a high note. So go out when you're good, not when you're boring. We had a great show tonight. We'll get on that topic again. I'm going to talk to Ricky about bringing him back in again and really talking about that because he has a really good way of breaking down that paranormal stuff. And I think it'd be good also having Marissa here and stuff with us too, because, you know, she brings that indigenous aspect to it. So there's a lot of different
and some science
things you can bounce off. It's great. Yes, that's true. She has science, but there's an indigenous background, which is really cool because it's like having a four-cornered room. You throw a ball around and every wall has something different to say. And I think that's
I do love that. I do love
acknowledge,
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I love listening to other people's ideas, theories, thoughts. Sometimes it can like spin me into a new thought. Like I love those conversations. I like saying if I'm going someplace, I want to learn. And by that, it's like hearing other theories and thoughts and like going, oh shit, I never thought of that before. That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Good night, Craig.
Greg.
All right, guys, we're going to get sign out here. We're going to close out the Motley Croc show. We love everybody coming out, commenting. I love that. It's really cool because I like the interaction. It really gets someone going. And you know, even if, you know, I offend somebody, I'm sorry, but it's all good. At the end of the day, we all still love you and we'll see you next week.